Okay, we are working on 64A today. It's a law of signs worksheet. So it's something we've already covered. We're using the law of signs as proportions. So we have fractions equal to a fraction in which we can cross multiply. Now the law of signs comes from our blue sheets that you guys have. If I don't have a right triangle, I can use a law of signs. So what they're giving you in the first part is two pieces that you're going to cross multiply and solve. But if you're given a triangle, I want to remind you of the vertices are capital ABC or XYZ, and the opposite sides are the small version, the lowercase a, the lowercase c, and lowercase b. It's really important that you pair them up. Whenever you're doing this, you're going to have two sets, one that you know the angle on the side, and then one that you're missing a piece. So you should always know 3 out of 4 pieces. I prefer to write mine like this, but you'll see a lot write it like this, as long as you're consistent. So on this worksheet, you can see that they wrote the side over the sign. So looking at that, we would cross multiply. I like to keep that out front. So a times sine 40 is equal to, and I like to put that 10 out front, 10 times sine 35. You could write sine 35 times 10. When you're putting these in the calculator, it's important that you use parentheses and close them. And now that I have this set up, I need to solve. So if I'm trying to find a, I'm going to divide both sides by sine 40. So this is a matter of putting it in the calculator, but I absolutely need a calculator to do this. So in this first part, I would type in 10, find your sign key. Some of you have the sign key. You have to hit your second probability for the trig function. I don't, so 10 times sine 35, close parentheses, divided by sine 40, close parentheses. All right, and it says round correct to 1 decimal place, so 8.9 is what I'm rounding this to. So A is 8.9. Now I don't know what kind of units it is, so it'd be just 8.9 units. So you're doing the same thing for B and C. Now, it says in number 2, solve for the unknown side variable in each triangle. So in parts A, B, and C, we are looking for a side. You're actually going to have the same thing you did up here, but we're looking for a side and we have to set it up. So we should see some work here. Here's the issue. I know angle C is 46, but I don't know side C. So that 46 is not helping me. I know that this side is 36, so I want to find angle B. And this is my other set that I'm using. So I know that I'm doing sine of 53 over my unknown A, because I'm solving for A. What I need was another set. So I can take to find angle B, 180 minus 53 minus 46. What do we get? I agree. All right, so make sure that's true. Like double check yourself in the calculator. So that gives me the sine of that angle over the opposite side. So it's important that you understand, sometimes I don't have the option. Even though I knew angle C, I cannot find side C, but I could find angle B. And ladies and gentlemen, we are just cross multiplying the same. It's not a great worksheet to show work because there's not a lot of room. It's 36 times sine 53. And that equals A times sine 81. So essentially, we're doing the same thing we did in the top. And to solve this, there's my variable A. I'm dividing out sine 81. Remember, 81 is not a number. It's sine 81. The signs don't cancel out. You have to type it in the calculator. So 36 times sine 53, close those parentheses, divided by sine 81, close those parentheses. Let's go ahead and round to the nearest tenth. Let's just stick with that. So this would be 29.1 because it doesn't tell us what to round to. Okay, so you have 2 more problems. You can probably show work down here and then off to the side on the front. Okay, go ahead and flip it over. Now, if you read the directions, which you do need to read them, for each of the following triangle descriptions, you should make a sketch. So we're looking for a sketch, not, you don't need to, but we're looking for a sketch. Then find the indicated side and round it correctly to 1 decimal place, the nearest tenth. So these are all you looking for sides, so we're doing the same thing. So I'm just going to do the first one and set it up. This is triangle ABC. So remember, this would be little a, little b, and little c. Doesn't matter how you set it up. Angle A is 57 as long as the opposite side matches with the angle. So 57 degrees. Angle B is 73 degrees. So what's angle C? Let's just do that right now. Take away the 2 angles. You know, this is that triangle sum theorem. What is it? Do we agree? Anybody confirm that? Seems reasonable to me. Yep. Okay. And side AB. Okay, so notice they gave you the 2 pieces from A to B. So that's really side C is 24 centimeters. So this was different. Normally they say side C. So this is little c is 24 centimeters. Okay, find the length of AC. Well, the length of AC is side B. So that's side B. Okay, so now that I have it, I just need to set it up. What information do I know? Well, I know angle C and I know side C. So I'm going to start with that. Sine of 50 over 24 equals, okay, I know angle A and I could find side A, but they didn't ask for that. They asked for side AC. So I am going to use this. Sine of 73 over B. So you are doing the same thing we did in the first 2 problems, problem 1A and problem 2A. So you're just going to cross multiply and solve. So take a second. And then we have one more type of problem to look at. All right, so when you cross multiply, it should be B times sine 50 equals 24 times sine 73. Okay, so find that B, divide out the sine of 50. And you're set. So type that in the calculator. 24 times sine 73, close the parenthesis, and use your division symbol. I've had people try to use their fraction bar. Can't use a fraction bar here. You have to use your division symbol. And let's round to the nearest tenth like it says. So this would end up being, see how it's 29.96? That 6 bumps that up, so it's going to have to be 30. And it does have units, so label it units on this. This was centimeters. Okay, last type of problem we're doing, it jumps to finding the angle. So, same idea. I have 2 sides. You understand I cannot use Pythagorean theorem to find the third side because it's not a right triangle. Pythagorean theorem only works in a right triangle. But they're asking me to find angle B to the nearest degree. Okay, so here's what I know. I know that I can use the sine of 48 and pair it with 63, and that would equal, okay, I don't know anything about angle A and I don't know anything about side A, but I do know that I'm looking for angle B. I'm going to pair that up with the opposite side, 22. Okay, I still have the same setup. The difference is I'm looking for an angle. And anytime I'm trying to find an angle, I'm going to use sine -1. I'm going to use my inverse sign at the end. Okay, so at the end. So let's cross multiply. It'd be 22 times sine 48 equals 63 times sine B. Okay, so that's what's different. I don't have a missing just piece. It's sine B. So I am still dividing. I'm just dividing by a number. And sine B is just hanging out waiting for me to deal with it. So keep that sine B and let's see what it equals. Now we want to keep several decimal places. So type in sine, 22. 22 times sine 48. You have to close the parenthesis Use your division symbol, 63. Now, I don't want to round this yet, so 2.2595, it keeps going. So how do I use my calculator without having to retype it? Well, I know to get b by itself, I'm going to take the inverse. So that cancels. I will get b, and instead of retyping this number in, I'm going to hit my inverse. So find your inverse with little -1. And then instead of retyping my number, I hit second and my little negative sign, and that has answer. So that pulls up that whole last answer, and I get 15.04. So 15 degrees. Did you label it degrees? Now, if I would have typed in that decimal point 2595, I get a very, very close answer. It's just off a little bit. Okay, so on these problems, you're finding the angle. So think about what you have. If I'm looking for angle P, I'm going to use that. Okay, one last problem on the back. Oh, down here it looks for angle A. But on the back here, you have to draw the triangle. So that's nothing new, but let's do this first. So draw your triangle. Again, we're using law of sines because they're not right triangles. And if that's angle A, that's little a, which is 42. If that's angle C, that's little c, which is 72. And angle C is 41 degrees. So they want angle A. So I don't know anything about angle B. I don't know anything about side B. But I'm going to pair up what I know about angle C and pair up that I'm looking for angle A. So you would set up your proportion and solve that. Again, round to the nearest degree.